All right, good afternoon. I appreciate you all joining us today for an update on the double homicide and subsequent officer-involved shooting that occurred this weekend in and around the city of Sturgis. A couple housekeeping things here real quick. I am Ryan Benazik, Director of Public Safety for the city of Sturgis. Last name is spelled B as in boy, A-N-A-S, Z as in zebra, A-K. Both of these cases continue to be ongoing investigations. As such, we'll share with you as much as we can today, but we will not be answering any questions to preserve the integrity of those investigations that continue as of today. How this will work, I'm going to give a brief summary of the initial call leading up through the discovery of the second homicide and then into the officer-involved shooting. At that time, the Undersheriff Jason Bingaman will walk through his agency's involvement in the second scene as well as the pursuit. So with that, we will get started. The initial call in the city of Sturgis occurred on August 5th at 10:43 p.m. When the Sturgis Department of Public Safety was called to the area of South Centerville and South Street for a report of a shooting along with a possible car versus pedestrian accident. Arriving officers located the victim, Stacy Mae Ramsey, with an apparent gunshot wound lying in the roadway. Ms. Ramsey was transported by Sturgis Public Safety Fire Division ambulance to Bronson Hospital. However, she died while en route. Initial reports into 911 that evening, along with witnesses, advised officers that they heard gunshots and a female was seen lying in the roadway. As witnesses exited their vehicles to provide assistance to the woman in the roadway, the suspect returned to the scene, striking the victim with his vehicle before fleeing. In the early stages of this investigation, officers received a significant amount of help from members of the community. Community members provided information that helped officers identify the suspect as David Elgerin Jr. Within the first few hours. Shortly after that, officers from the Sturgis Department of Public Safety, St. Joseph County Sheriff's Department, and the Michigan State Police located the suspect at the Sweet Lake Mobile Home Park on US 12. However, as officers approached the suspect, he fled, ultimately escaping from the area that evening. Pursuant to information that was received during the investigation, officers at that time performed a protective sweep of the residents at Sweet Lake Mobile Home Park and located the second victim, Jerry Longacre, deceased. At that time, the scene on US 12 was turned over to the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office as it was outside of the jurisdiction of the Sturgis Department of Public Safety. While we do not have a clear motive for the murders at this time, detectives are working diligently to piece together what happened and why. Throughout Sunday morning, officers from multiple agencies, including the multi-jurisdictional special response team, continued to search for the suspect, following up on tips and investigative leads with no success. At around 11 a.m. on Sunday, Sturgis officers received a hit confirmation on a license plate reading camera in the city of Sturgis, alerting them that the suspect vehicle had passed through the area. Within several minutes, a Sturgis officer located the suspect on US 12, and a short time later, a pursuit was initiated. St. Joseph County Sheriff's Department assumed the primary role in the pursuit due to their familiarity with the area and roadways within their jurisdiction. At this time, I'll turn it over to Undersheriff Jason Bingaman to discuss the rest of the pursuit as well as the homicide scene on US 12 at Sweet Lake Mobile Home Trailer Park.
Good afternoon. I'd like to start by just offering my condolences to the families that are involved in this incident. It's just a sad situation all the way around, and it's unfortunate, but they're in our thoughts and they're in our prayers, and so just wanted to start with that. So the Sheriff's Department got involved initially with collaboration with Sturgis PD on the original homicide in the city with our accident reconstruction team. Information came in which led us to the Sweet Lake Trailer Park located at 31004 US 12. We began the investigation. Obviously, at that point, we realized we had a homicide there, and we began to process that crime scene. The decedent was a Jerry Odell Longacre. He's age 61, and he resided at 31004 US 12, lot number 35. Through the investigation, we were a normal investigation. We were collecting evidence and we were processing the scene. A short time into the morning on Sunday, Sturgis PD announced that they had the suspect heading back to our location, Sweet Lake Trailer Park. In fact, they drove by right where we were. So at that point, some of the units that we had on scene engaged in the pursuit of the suspect vehicle. The suspect vehicle was identified the previous evening, and we verified that it was the same vehicle that we were looking for. This pursuit went eastbound on US 12 Chicago Road into the village of Bronson. At that time, they turned northbound on South Madison Lake Road, and they traveled north until they got to West Colon Road, which is also M86. During the pursuit, there were communications between the suspect and our dispatch. And based on the information that we had and the two homicide investigations that we were conducting, it was clear that he had homicidal and suicidal ideations. And so as he headed back towards St. Joseph County, we made the decision that we were going to use a pit maneuver to stop the pursuit. The village of Colon, it was having their yearly magic festival, and there were going to be several people out on the street, and so it was imperative that we try to get it stopped as quickly as we could. We successfully used a pit maneuver on the suspect, which took the vehicle off the roadway and into a wheat field just short of St. Joseph County. We're approximately a half mile into Branch County at this time. It's at that time where the officer-involved shooting occurred. The suspect was deceased on scene, and we had contacted the Michigan State Police to conduct the investigation on this, which is pretty normal protocol to have a different agency come in and work that investigation. I'm going to show you guys a video here in a minute of what we can release today. One of our cameras that we have. I can get you guys a copy of that if you reach out to Jen Meyer, who is our administrative assistant. She can get you a copy of whatever you need there. But we'll play that here in a second. I would just say this: it was a unique situation for us because we weren't sitting on a scene with like if we were on road patrol. We were processing a scene, and so some of the vehicles had cameras, some of the vehicles did not have cameras. We typically, if our vehicles work in the roadway, they have cameras in them, but because this was a special circumstances, it didn't. So this is the one view that we have to give you guys, and so we'll play that in a minute. But what I'd like to say is, while this situation was unfortunate, I am very proud of the way law enforcement, our dispatch center, and everybody handled this situation. When in a small county like ours, when you have something like this that goes, that happens, it's all hands on deck, and it doesn't matter whether you're with the Sturgis Police Department or Public Safety, or you're with the Sheriff's Department. We had resources from all over the county, and for that, I thank them. We were in communication with our prosecutor, Dave Marvin, so he's aware of what we had going on. And as we finish up our reports, that information on the homicides will be forwarded to his office, and per our policy on our major crime scene task force, his office would then become the point of contact if you guys need follow-up from there. As far as the officer-involved shooting, I can't get into detail on that because our county is not investigating it, the state police, and that will go to Branch County because we were in their county. And so I can't follow up any further with that. But I would like to, Aaron, if you want to share the video. And so again, you guys will have access to that. Understand, like the director had said, we are continuing to investigate and collect information and data from this investigation. The Michigan State Police is handling this part of it, but any further updates that we get that we can push out to you, we plan to do that and keep you in the loop that way. We appreciate you guys coming, and thank you.
Thank you.